I'm Qui.
And I'm Bri.
And this is
Mommy's Mixes and Mocktails. Oh, she did it. Good job.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Mommy's Mixes and Mocktails with Qui and Bri. I'm Qui.
And I'm Bri.
And guess what? We have so much to talk about today because a lot has happened since we last saw you. So today we're going to run down Fabulous and Emily B's domestic situation. Moment of silence. Okay. Overstepping boundaries and handling tantrums. Now, when it comes to tantrums, I'm not good with it. Okay, because I'll either like walk over them, leave them, or something else is probably violent. But I don't want to do that. How do you handle tantrums with your kids?
I'm a little different.
Okay.
I think I use the technique of threatening them.
That works.
I have. I do. I threaten them. I have a wooden spoon that I every day. Do I need to get my spoons? Do I need to get it? My husband calls me like the biggest like pushover because I do a lot of threatening but not enough following up.
Oh, you don't execute.
So I don't actually go through with the the instilling that fear.
Okay.
That fear. I think it puts that respect in there.
Put that respect on my name.
On my name.
Damn. So I got this spoon. Put the respect on my name.
Do I need to get my spoon?
Great.
And she's like, no, mommy, no.
I'm glad you can. Oh, yeah, the shot of it.
Yeah, and
then
everybody reels it back in, so then we're good on that.
You have a nice household. Mine, I actually have to execute on my threats, but it's cool. I know it's frowned upon to either like threaten not giving them food or other things that are like heavily abusive. So, you know what? Just on that note, we're just gonna have a sip.
You're gonna have a sip, like I should too. And let's see what we got today.
You know, yours looks a little different from mine. What do you have?
So I'm not much of a brown liquor type of girl. I prefer my red wines, but today, since we were kind of giving it to you straight with a little bit of the heavier topics, we're going to go straight with some straight bourbon, straight whiskey. We can do it one of two ways. So you can either have a drink neat, which is straight from the bottle to the glass, and here you can enjoy a nice bourbon neat, or we can have a chilled drink, right? So we're just going to do just a whiskey double, like a double whiskey. So it's a double shot there. We're just going to put that on some ice. And so as we're chilling the bourbon on the ice, we're just going to go straight from the mixing glass right to the glass. Let's go off to the side. Have it. Cheers. So we're both happily married.
Yes, we are.
And I feel like there should be boundaries in a marriage or any relationship, really.
Yeah.
What are some ways that you feel a spouse can overstep their boundaries?
Well, I think, like you said, it's important for a marriage and a relationship, right? I'll just use myself for an example. My husband and I are both athletes, so we look at we're Team Harris, absolutely Team Harris. Everybody has their role, everybody has their goals, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like as a teammate, as a spouse, whatever, when you are outside of those lines, outside of your role, and try to step into the other person's, that'll put you out of bounds.
Right.
Straight up, like when the ball goes over the line, you're out of bounds, okay? And I remember one time, I move a lot faster than my husband. Like many wives, move a lot faster because they have to process, they have to think about it, they have all these different things. But when I move too fast and I end up moving ahead of him, I mess up the function of our family. I mess up the dynamic.
Right.
And that's just one way of overstepping your boundaries. Now we could be really drastic and talk about, infidelity or clothes swapping, you know what I mean? Those kind of things. No, real rap, okay? Some men really
clothes
like to
swapping.
Yeah, some men like to wear their
I don't know about all that,
things,
but
I don't think my husband would fit mine.
Child, let me ever walk in and catch my husband in my negligee.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's gonna be a problem. I think you know what. Actually,
we touched on a whole nother topic.
We did real quick. Let me just tell you what I heard allegedly. Oscar De La Hoya is a fighter, right? Like prize fighter.
Yeah.
And he was a little dabbling in a little bit of cute stuff that wasn't in the men's section.
No.
In a certain store, but that's okay.
Okay.
Well, I digress.
That's interesting.
Let's not talk about him.
Nope.
Or that.
Nope.
Because we're not married to that. We're happily married. As we look at the camera, happily married wives.
Look at that white life.
Oh, white life.
I don't have a t-shirt.
Speaking, oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to get you a t-shirt. Of course you have to.
It's fine.
I don't want to, it's no shade or anything.
It's cool.
So I don't know if you know, but you probably do. Of course you do. Because you're on social media like
Yes, I am.
Let me just start out by saying domestic violence is pretty disgusting, pretty horrible, and I know some very gruesome stories. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot about domestic violence. When we heard about Fab and Emily, it was so many things, so many rumors swirling. Mm-hmm. We saw the video.
Right.
We heard, TMZ, everybody who's anybody with a blog and the internet and can comment had something to say, right? And immediately when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's a shame, because in my mind, I had this preconceived notion, oh, he must always be like this because he knocked her teeth out. Oh, man, because you just don't come home and knock somebody's teeth out, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what I know about domestic violence and when there's really an abusive husband and an abused wife, they don't display such boldness in those situations, mm-hmm. just from what I know. Mm-hmm. What I also know about violent relationships, that seems to be a little more mutual. You know what I mean? Like we're hitting and we're fighting each other. So I don't know if you can necessarily classify that as domestic violence, like what do you think? So
with that particular case, mm-hmm. now I didn't see the footage
mm-hmm.
with her actually holding the camera.
Yeah.
The footage that I saw, it looked like somebody was recording from a window.
Yeah.
And instantly my thought was, oh, this isn't the first time this has happened, mm-hmm. because mm-hmm. while the father was being pulled back and Fab was, going off saying everything that he was saying, he walked near her, and the way that she cowered back, I said, oh, okay, that, to me, that was a red flag, like, he's hit her before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they've
mm-hmm.
been in this situation mm-hmm. before. Mm-hmm. I think that, especially when you're in such a highly publicized or a highly public, you're a public figure, and the eyes are going to be on you, mm-hmm. I'm just going to play... I'm not going to say devil's advocate, but mm-hmm. I'm going to say that maybe she finally got tired of being in that situation and was like, I'm going to show the world who you really are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I do follow the blogs.
Yeah.
I'm right in there on social mm-hmm. media, so I feel like I pay attention to people's their facial expressions, mm-hmm. their body language. We're sitting inward, our legs are in together, so we're in tune with one another, opposed to if someone's taking a picture with someone and their legs are turned this way, they're like shying away, they don't really want to be involved with that person. So I've seen pictures with them together, and her face, like, she just is out of it in her eyes, right? The videos that come out with him being with other women, like there's a lot of public knowledge out there. So I feel like, my personal opinion is mm-hmm. maybe she was finally starting to take those steps to finally put him out there and put an end to certain things, because you never know. Domestic violence is it's a terrible, terrible thing.
It is.
And I feel like it affects so many women, mm-hmm. and then there are so many women that don't have a voice. Yeah. And for another woman to come out and finally be that voice, mm-hmm. or to stand up to mm-hmm. her alleged abuser, it takes a lot. And so maybe she was at that point where she could finally step up and say, I'm taking the control mm-hmm. back. I'm going to take the reins back and handle this situation. This is not the first case of domestic disputes we've heard, in the media when it comes to public figures and our mm-hmm. celebrities mm-hmm. that we like. We also have Tamar Braxton and Vincent Herbert.
Yeah, right.
And I love the Braxtons, but I follow this show. Yeah. And in a recent episode, mm-hmm. Evelyn, the mother, she you know, she keeps on having these moments where she's breaking down, and she actually spoke to TMZ and was like, I'm gonna need Vincent to keep his hands to
When he killed my
himself.
child.
Yeah, and
like,
she,
oh, my
yeah.
God.
So she came out and she said, for me to actually speak on this private event, it was a cry for help.
Desperation.
Because it was out of desperation, right? Because she was tired of seeing her child.
Yeah.
She just wants to be happy.
Yeah.
I just need, first of all, I wish somebody would put their hands on any of my kids. But anyway, I digress.
I know.
I'm just,
That's why you stay licensed.
you
for
know,
things like
hey.
and then that's what I was going to say. Like, from a parent's point of view, when we talk about Emily B and her father being there, I don't know. It's something about when daddy comes around, you feel this extra sense of security.
Right.
But I don't know. That dynamic seemed weird because it's like, daddy can't really do anything right here, right now because he's being held back.
Right.
I'm wondering if daddy really wanted to come in guns blazing before he knew anything. You know what I'm saying? Because,
So from
I
what
don't
I
know,
heard,
parents...
the call was made for him to come to remove all of the weapons out of the house. She called him and his brother, from what I heard,
Okay.
to remove all of the weapons out of the house because he had threatened her, allegedly, before, and said that he was going to kill her, he was going to do whatever. I did also hear that her teeth were not knocked out, but there was actually some physical altercation, which is why he ended up being arrested, but I think he was out.
Yeah.
And, you know, they say money talks and BS
Of
walks.
course, of
So,
course.
you know, it's very, very unfortunate. I don't believe that this is the last that we'll hear about this incident. You know, we'll just have to stay tuned and keep our ears to the street and our eyes on the screen.
I just want her, especially because it's kids, you can hear the kids screaming in the background.
Yeah,
like, I just want them, like, women who are in this situation and men, like, seek the counsel that you need. And we're actually going to, you know, post some resources and websites that will help. Maybe you are someone who is in that situation and it's tumultuous, it's violent, abusive. We're actually going to just share some of the resources that we have because this is a serious situation and we don't want anybody to experience this alone, feel like you're by yourself, because you're not. We're a group of women, okay? And we have to look out for one another, and that's very, very important to me. But back to this topic, I don't think that we heard enough opinions.
Right.
So maybe we should ask our viewers, what do you think? What's your take on this Fab and Emily B situation? Are you team Fab? Are you team Emily B? Do you care? Do you not care? Have you experienced something like this? Share, because we want to know, okay? Definitely like, comment, and share. And whatever you comment, we're going to read it on the next episode. But thank you so much for tuning in to Mommy's Mixes and Mocktails with Qui
And Bri.
and we'll see you next time. Oh, we about to seat butterfly. Seat twerk. I am a seat twerker. I definitely am a seat twerker. I'll be in the car like, yeah, Cardi, yeah.